Hello everybody, peace and blessings to you. I hope this video is meeting you well. I hope that life is good and blessed, and you are more than just surviving, you are thriving. I hope that you are doing okay. I know that this is not an easy time to be doing okay in, but I hope that you are at peace, you are keeping calm, you are staying grounded, you are trusting not only your intuition, but trusting the higher power, and trusting in divine timing, and trusting in the laws of the universe, and trusting in good and light and love and truth, and believing and holding the light for a brighter, more positive future and better days to come. So the theme of this video that I'm recording on April 9th, 2025, the theme of this video is learning tarot. And I just wanted to share with you where my perspective, where tarot is concerned. I am not I don't read tarot. I don't know very much about tarot. I watch and listen to people who read tarot on social media, on the internet, but I have never, ever really paid attention to the cards when they talk. I more so listen to hear their intuitive perspective. I believe that tarot is a tool that they use among other tools to help them to connect to their intuition and to their inner soul and their spirituality, and to connect to their understanding of things and psychic abilities, if they have the psychic abilities to connect to that part of themselves. I am Latisha, as I often say. I am Latisha, and I am on a journey and a path of just learning. I have this desire and quest for learning, and I want to learn so many things all at the same time. I can't learn all the things. I want to unlearn things and learn new things and hold the vision and prepare myself to be a new leader in the new earth, vision, in the golden age, in a better world, and tarot is just something that I just want to learn. I want to kind of like focus on only one particular deck. This deck. This is the only tarot deck I have. It was never my intention to buy a tarot deck, but I chose to buy the tarot deck because of the artwork, and especially one in particular. There was just one card that I felt like I had to have. And a lot of the times I leave this card out of the deck and I put it in front of me to look at and to remind myself what my field of protection, my bubble of protection, while holding my light and creating that force field, that bubble of protection, what it looks like, right? And there have been more images that I've come across in this deck that mean something to me, that connect to my visions that I've had and my understanding of certain things. But yet still, I don't know anything about tarot. I don't know much about tarot, and I don't know what these symbols mean. Page of Wands, Seven of Wands, the Hermit, Ten of Pentacles. I have 4 cards out right now because these cards are almost always out, right? These cards are almost always out. And I just wanted to pull 2 new. The energy was feeling so good today. I recorded 2 videos this morning, and I'm looking forward to you guys having the opportunity to see the vibes and the energy and the aura and the state of mind of where what I was feeling this morning was so good, so yummy, so yummy, so tasty, so good. And it made me kind of like wanted to see if I pull two cards, what cards would come out. And both cards, to be honest, did come out to match the energy of the day. So these are going to be the four cards that I want to focus on using this website, the lightseerstarot.com. I love this website, the lightseerstarot.com, with a website for this deck of cards, the Light Seers Tarot, a 78 card deck, and the artist is Chris Ann. Where does it say? Let me see if I can find where it says who the artist is. It says Chris Ann. Yeah, that's all I see. Chris Ann is the artist. And this is a beautiful website, by the way. A journey of shadows and sunshine. And I love this deck. It is colorful. It is modern. The art is just exquisite and understandable. And it feels like the tarot of my time. The tarot from my generation. A new vision of tarot cards, a new imagery of tarot cards. And I grew up hearing, believing that tarot was an evil thing, that it was a wicked thing, and my mom and I kind of had a YouTube debate, not a real life conversation about it per se, but a little bit of a small discussion, on symbols and things that you keep in your home, and the symbols and certain things that could be a representative of evil. I don't know if I'm wording it correctly, but that it could be a reflection of evil, or what is that word, that thing itself is evil. And I felt I had the position that for the most part, I feel like evil things that are evil, there's no such thing as an evil thing. There are the symbols and the meaning and the use that humans attach to it. So I believe that different symbols can have different meanings, different words can have different meanings, tools can have different purposes and meaning depending on how a human being uses it. So I just don't believe a thing is good or bad until a human attaches good or bad energy to it. That's how I see it. Now, I don't know if what I know, I don't know, I don't know if I am wrong or right about what I think and what I believe per se. I just can make judgments about things based on my perspective, on how on the world that I see from my eyes, and what I witness from my own eyes, and how I interpret what I witness. And I can also make judgment on things based on my experience. And for me personally, everything that I've ever touched or brought into my home has been a tool of light. I am figuring out, I'm trying to find the right word, but it is light because I touch it, and I use it for good. Like I don't bring anything in my home or have anything in my home that to me I don't associate with good or light. I don't bring anything with evil intentions, or putting the meaning of something dark or ugly or wicked or whatever to it, So I don't know if that makes sense, but to me, anything that I touch, I transmute into light. Anything that I used for a purpose is for the purpose of good, and it's for the purpose of light. Anything that I'm drawn to is the light. I'm drawn to the light, and I gravitate to the light. I love this website. I think it's absolutely beautiful. So let's see what it says. Are you ready to travel the sunshine and shadow laden path of the light seer? I invite you to explore this collection of dreams, archetypes, and stories as you dive into lessons and messages of the light seer. The relatable contemporary characters will allow you to easily and intuitively translate the message of the cards. And as you connect with their magic, it is my hope that you will become trusted guides that will bring that they will it is my hope that they will become trusted guides that will bring you deeper into your own inner landscape and knowing. Free feel notes. All right, so let's look at the 4 cards. This is the part that I find most interesting out of all the out on this website, and this is gonna help me to learn and to understand. This, among other things, will help me to learn and understand the symbols and the imagery a lot better. So I'm going to just look at the 4 cards, my 2 favorites that are always out, and the 2 that I pulled today, and see what I learned, see what is, if I could gain a little bit more understanding from it. So let's look at this one, my favorite image, and you will see me just show you this constantly in my videos until I get tired of doing that. 7 of Wands. 7 of Wands. Suite of Wands. Then here the Ace of Wands, 2 of Wands, 3 of Wands, 4 of Wands, 5 of Wands, 6 of Wands, 7 of Wands, 8 of Wands, 9 of Wands, 10 of Wands, Page of Wands, Knight of Wands, Queen of Wands, and King of Wands. Okay, so the 7 of Wands. I show up bravely and I stand my ground. I show up bravely and I stand my ground. 7 of Wands key meanings. Light seer, upright. Dynamic energy, movement and growth, protecting your ideas, creative innovation, remaining ahead, feeling vulnerable, courageously sharing your ideas, and self-expression. So just by that description alone, you would understand why this is my card. This is my tarot card right here. The Shadow Seer, reversed, meaning that if you pull it like that, reversed. Defending yourself, being attacked, being misunderstood, a need to erect energetic boundaries, grounding and protecting yourself. Grounding and protecting yourself, slander. 7 of Wands overview. Haters. They only emerge after she made it to her current perch. And as soon as she did, they started whipping out their wands and challenging her position. She's been here for like, 5 minutes? And there's already someone who didn't like what she had to say. Another someone who disliked what she had to eat. Someone else who aggressively asked her to explain her background, and a whole whack of wands pointing at her flaws. Some dislike anyone who is successful. Some want what she has. Some are just angry at the world and they attack her because she's visible. She takes a pause and remembers that she has the experience to be at the top of the ledge, and that she is deserving of this success. She realizes that her only option is to defend herself if she wants to stay put. Well, they use violence and aggression to tempt her into losing her composure. She chooses a different road and draws on her integrity, her energy, and her love. This too is a lesson that will serve her well. Taking a deep breath in, she draws light from the universe and she forms an energetic bubble around herself. She casts a protective shield as her as she imagines the rune of protection streaming down into her sheltering sphere. Consciously, mindfully, she brings feelings of peace and well being into her body. So it is. I love that. I love that. And that is everything. That is everything for 2025. This is the card for 2025. This is the energy that we, especially the women, we need to tap into. This is the energy that I'm in, and this is the energy that I want to see as many women as possible, especially the women, I be in that bubble of protection while we make ourselves visible. Like me, I'm still not as visible as the person described in this picture. I'm not visible enough to have the haters and attackers as yet, at least not many, but I'm working towards being that kind of visible. And I'm practicing having this kind of energy so that when I need to be that kind of visible, when in divine timing I'm that kind of visible, I can protect myself from the Seven of Wands. So I was curious about the Seven of Wands and wondering what it meant. And now I understand that the Seven of Wands are the attackers. Those are the haters. Those are people coming for you, you know. And here is an old image from a different what is that deck called? One of the older tarot cards, which I can't remember what the name of this deck is, but one of the older tarot cards, the most popular. I don't know if it's the first or the original or anything like that. I don't know the history of tarot, but this is one of the most popular tarot cards that I see people using. Okay, so I just looked it up, and this is from the Rider-Waite, if I'm saying it correctly, but that's it right there. Rider-Waite Tarot. And the Rider-Waite Tarot is a widely popular deck for tarot card reading. First published by William Rider and Son in 1909. Based on the instructions of academic and mystic A.E. Waite and illustrated by Pam Coleman Smith, both members of the Hermetic Order of Golden Dawn, also known as the Waite Smith Rider Smith or Rider Tarot. Both members of the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, also known as the Waite Smith, Rider Waite Smith, or Rider Tarot. The deck has been published in numerous editions and inspired a wide array of variants and imitations. Estimates suggest over 100 million copies of the deck circulate across over 20 countries. All right, so that is a lesson or a study for another time, because when you're learning about things, it takes time. It takes time, and going deep and understanding things. And I don't know how deep I want to go into learning about tarot. I could tell you that there are seeds planted in my mind, so it's always in the back of my mind. This perception of tarot being evil. Like, for instance, my husband, who is from a different generation to me, but he's only 5 years older, but he's from a different generation and a different mindset. He just came in the room while I was working on my video, not having a clue what I'm talking about, but seeing my computer open and seeing the darn tarot, and he's like, "You're making a video about tarot? I'm going to tell your mother." He was making fun of me about it. But I feel as though in the back of that humor, there's fear. There's fear there because we always grew up kind of believing and hearing that tarot is evil or wicked. And I feel like there's a lot of things that we have to unlearn and unpack and and learn and understand things differently. And again, this is a big wide world and there's so much to learn. So it's not everything that you want to learn, every thread that you want to pull on that you are going to go deep into. I do not see myself feeling the desire to be someone that reads tarot. Like I said, even as I have a tarot deck, I still do not feel the call. I just love the images, but I still don't feel the call to read tarot. Doesn't mean that I have doesn't mean that it bothers me that other people read tarot. Doesn't mean that there's no judgment or no kind of strong opinions in terms of judgment towards anybody that read tarot. I do know that there are seeds that have been sown in my head that I have in the back of my mind of, am I doing something wrong? There's a little guilt there. Am I doing something wrong? Even thinking or talking or watching somebody reading tarot, or even thinking about tarot in any way, or even having a tarot card in my home. Am I doing something wrong? Am I going down a slippery slope? Is this like too risky? So there's seeds that have been sown in my mind, and then they're in the back. So I gotta pull them up and I gotta unpack and I gotta understand. And I feel as though it is always best to not fear something without educating yourself on it first. Because when I think about our fears that have been sown into us from childhood, and passed on probably from our parents or our church or from our teachers, and they probably those are things that they would have learned and passed on to us. I always think that I think now that it's better to educate yourself before before like allowing yourself to feel those fears. I'm gonna turn. Is that? I feel as though I need a little light in here. Hold on a second. Do not know if that light helped. Nope. Maybe it helped a little. Okay. So, but I am on a quest to learn because I feel like knowledge alleviates fears, and knowledge, understanding things better, helps you to be less fearful. And that is why the powers of darkness right now, the dark forces, are trying to get us to go back to not being an educated people and to not understanding how things work, to literally just shut down education and shut down learning and make learning harder. Trying to go back to a dumber humanity. And when we are a dumber humanity, then we are going to keep taking and destroying and what's the word I'm looking for? Sucking the life out of the planet without restoring without understanding her healing powers, without understanding our powers, without understanding what we're capable of. So anyway, let me get back to the point. So the name of this deck, like I said, this older deck, is Rider-Waite Tarot. And this is the old image, the old artwork. And I feel like this here is so modern and so much a representation from my generation, and a better reflection of what our power is, what our actual defense is. Because here, this is some dude holding a wand himself. So he's basically like fighting fire with fire, fighting wands with wands. He's protecting himself with his own wand. In this image, she is defending herself in her calm, in her peace, in her light, in her confidence, in her security, in her strength, in her lightness. in her healedness. I don't know if healedness is a word, but you know what I mean when I say in her healing, in her energy of joy and healing and love and light and strength and all the good stuff. Good stuff. So that's what I see in the difference between this in the modern times, this artwork, and this artwork in the older days. Message from the Seven of Wands. It's time to show your determination and tenacity, especially if you are being asked to defend your accomplishments to others. Remain confident in your abilities. Remember that you deserve this success. You've earned it. Draw on your integrity, your love, and your positive energy, and stand up for your beliefs and intentions. Stay synchronized with your bright vision and avoid sinking into any low vibe negative states that others may be pushing. This card can represent the competition that emerges as a result of shining brightly in the world. May you be maybe you are at a place where others envy your status and they are hoping to knock you off of your pedestal. If you are feeling attacked after sharing your magic or after sharing a brave idea, it's important to remember that you don't have to accept the opinions of others as truth, especially when they are vying for your position. Just do you. Just do you. Check in with your integrity to make sure you are acting in a way that is aligned with your highest truth. And when you know who you are, don't let anyone stop you. Have persistence and defend what's yours. If you're feeling criticized or unaccepted, this card is a reminder that standing up for yourself and clearly radiating your truest message will convey self-confidence and backbone. Continue courageously, maintain your flow, create healthy boundaries, and bolster your mindset and your badass belief. And it's no wonder from reading that, it's no wonder that this is my card right here. This card is everything. This is me. This is my everything. This is my energy in 2025. This is where I'm at. This is where I'm at. This is where I'm heading. This is everything. And questions for the seer. What relationships do you have with the opinions of others? Is it time to be firmer with your energetic boundaries? How would your perspective change if you were on the side of the situation? How would your perspective change if you were on their side of the situation? What does it look like when you show up the most vibrant? What does it look like when you show up in the most vibrant form of you? And there you go. So the next card I want to look at, and I'm probably going to divide this video into 2 parts so that I don't go too long. But the next card I want to look at using the lightseerstarot.com website because I love it. Focusing my understanding of tarot from this deck, my one and only deck. I don't see myself buying any more tarot decks, but this is my one and only deck. And who knows what the future holds, but right now, this is my one and only tarot deck. I may buy more oracle cards, but I'm not sure if I'm going to buy more tarot cards. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. The Hermit card. So the Hermit is in the major arcana, group. I don't know. What do you say? Group of cards. The Hermit card. So the reason that I started to also be drawn to the Hermit card is because I had done a video where I was always using the term, I say it a lot, anchoring the light, that I see myself anchoring the light, and I use this image like me holding the lantern, right? And she said, And someone said, Sylvia, my friend Sylvia, my intuitive friend that I met from this being on YouTube, from becoming a YouTuber, my friend Sylvia from Colorful Foresight, her account is Colorful Foresight, where she looks at a lot of woo-woo stuff, as she called it. You know, she had said, did you check out the Hermit card in the deck that you have? So I did, because she encouraged me to. The Hermit card. The Hermit tarot card meaning, I witness my brightly lit heart. I witness my brightly lit heart. The Hermit key meanings, light seer, upright. Inner reflection, meditation, contemplation, soul searching, inner wisdom, spiritual mentor, experience, finding your guide within, taking time away from the chaos of a busy life, time out, hermiting. Okay, so again, she called it. But she's the person that also introduced me to this card, because if not for her introducing me to this card, you know, when we did we did a recording together. She showed me this card and told me what deck it was from. If she didn't show me this card, I wouldn't know about. I had seen this deck before, but I don't know what cards was in it, because again, like I said, I wasn't really drawn to getting my own tarot, so I didn't really look into tarot cards, and I didn't really look into particular decks or anything like that. So it's through her that I got to know these two cards. She pointed them out to me. The Hermit key meanings, like, oh wait, I said that already. Shadow seer, reversed. So that, like, if you pull it like that, reversed. Withdrawing from society, isolation, loneliness, ignoring your inner voice, losing your sense of purpose, not trusting yourself. So I am obviously in the upright energy, the upright space. Inner reflection, meditation, contemplation, soul searching, inner wisdom, inner mentor experience, finding your guide within, taking time from the chaos of a busy life, time out, hermiting. The Hermit overview. She walks the path using a lantern to guide her. At some point, she has to leave the traditional tools aside and walk the rest of the path alone. I love it. This is so modern. She has learned all she can from her current situation, and she drops her candlelight, her devices, her connections to other people's opinions and voices. I love it, and this is the energy that I'm in. She even leaves her trusted cards behind, for she knows that it is time to hear the beating pulse of her own spirit. She allows her heart to lead her to the highest point of her inner guidance system, understanding that this internal compass may change after she passes through this process of inner shadow and light. Here, at the precipice of her knowing, she spends time in quiet contemplation. She charges her faith, she listens, and she begins to feel the next level of being. Enlightenment, awakening, illumination. She feels, she journeys, she learns. She is ready. She knows that she must say goodbye to her hermit experience and return to life below. If she doesn't, she risks becoming too isolated and withdrawn. With gratitude, she leaves her steady candle burning brightly at the foot of the path, where it will illuminate the way to others. She no longer needs it to see where she's going. Her path has now been cleared. And that, again, is the modern energies of tarot. This is why I believe that this is a modern reflection of new energy, new age tarot. You know, in this old tarot, look at this, the guide, the hermit, is this old dude looking like Gandalf, or what the other one name? The old wise dudes from Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings. I forgot what he won from Lord of the Rings. No, what he won from, I forgot what the guy from Harry Potter, what his name is at the moment. I'm going to put it in the thing. But anyway, looking like that, having that old, wise leader energy, and he's holding the lantern. But here, oh my gosh, here, the modern spiritual person, the modern believer doesn't need to be guided by some old dude. They don't have to be this old dude with a white beard looking like I said, looking like those guys from those movies that we watch, Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings. The strength, the modern New Age believer understands that the strength comes from within, the light comes from within, this divine is within and not without, and the light is within. It doesn't come from a pastor. It doesn't come from a teacher. It doesn't come from an external guide. It comes from an inner guide, inner knowing, an inner source of strength, an inner wisdom, an inner understanding. And the only way to have this light sparkling at this level of radiance is to be that hermit for a bit, is to tap into the faith, is to tap into the energy of your inner self, and spending time with yourself, and listening to your own voice within, and feeling, building up that strength, turning that light on from within, and becoming this, floating. Another thing that I like about this is she is just sitting in her light energy, floating above it all, because she don't have to be walking for anybody. She don't have to be walking in front of people holding that lantern, being that guide. She just has to be that light. She's leaving her tools behind there so that anybody that walks the path will be able to pick up the tools and use that tools that she doesn't need anymore, because she has done the work. She has done the work. So now she has gotten to the point where she is the tool. She is. Oh gosh, I'm thinking about the We Are the Flood from Cliff Cash comedy. We Are the Flood. I think it's .com or .net or whatever. Check it out. We Are the Flood. That is a whole protester chant. We are the flood. She is the light. She is the tool. You know what I mean? She don't need any external tools because she is it. The shadow side of the hermit reminds us that even if we have retreated to our inner landscapes to heal after a traumatic event, we don't want to remain there forever. Our goal is to discover, to process, to heal in order to welcome new knowledge back into our waking life. It is not an escape. Sometimes we run the risk of being deeply introspective, that we lose our connections to others, or worse. In our constant struggle to heal wounds, we are inadvertently beginning to integrate those same wounds and shadows as a part of our forever identity, and thus our forever struggle. When in the deepest trenches of self-discovery, we must remember that our constant search for our own healing does not mean that we are not already whole and healed. Integrate and transmute the shadow and move towards the light. Questions for the seer. What would your inner sage say if you asked it what you needed to heal? What would your inner sage say if you asked it what you needed to heal? How comfortable are you doing things by yourself and spending time alone? Do you give yourself permission to take time out when you need it? I'm reminding you, this is lightseerstarot.com. I love this website. I don't go often, but I probably will go more often just to understand tarot. This is a good website to help you to understand modern New Age tarot. I can't think of a better deck to understand tarot as a light tool instead of a tool of darkness. That scares people. as a light tool than this. So I'm going to do a part 2. I'm going to stop this video and I'm going to then start to record a second half where I look at 2 more cards, the cards that I pulled today, and learn about that a little bit, and we discuss it together. And thank you for watching. I really appreciate you. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment, and just do all the things that will help me with my algorithm. Sending you a lot of love, and stay tuned for part 2. Thank you.